Hello friends, welcome to lecture number 7 of unit number 4 Network Security. Myself Nikul Jaiswal, lecturer in Computer Engineering, Sri Kachi Polytechnic, Bharuch. So let's have a quick recap of our previous lecture. So in the previous lecture we have discussed the security topologies. So security topology is the arrangement of the hardware in such a way that it will provide the better security to your network. So whenever we design any security topology, there are four major areas to concern. First is design goal. So in the design goal, we need to consider the goal of confidentiality, integrity, availability, and accountability in mind to develop any security topology. After that, we have discussed the security zones. So we can divide our network into particular zones to provide the better security. So there are totally four types of zone. First is internet, then we have discussed the intranet, then extranet, and DMZ, that is also called as a demilitarized zone. After that, we have discussed the third major concern, that is technology. So in that technology, we have discussed the first virtual lens. So we will group the certain machines to implement to derive the flow of the traffic, and it will increase the network performance as well as the security to the network. After that, we have seen the net, that is also called as a network address translation. So from the one internet connection we can have the multiple connection to the intranet, and it will also provide the better security to our intranet. After that, we have seen the next topic, that is tunneling. So tunneling will help us to create the secure communication between the two machines by using the public network. And after that, we have seen the business requirement. So in the business requirement, basically based on the business requirement, we do the risk assessment, and based on the risk assessment, we identify the security threats, and we work on that security threat to disable the to eliminate the vulnerabilities that is present in our network. So that was all about the security topologies. Now in today's lecture, we will discuss the most important topic, that is IP security. It is also called as the IPsec. And after that, we will discuss the email security. So let's start with the discussion of IP security. So IP security, basically also called as the IPsec, and it is developed to provide the security at the network layer. So IPsec provide the capability to secure communication across the LAN, across the private and public WAN, and across the internet. So it will help us to provide the better secure communication in LAN also, in WAN also, and in internet also. So we can create the secure communication between two machines through the internet also by using the IP security. So basically IP security will provide the security at the network level. So IPsec is a collection of protocol designed by the Internet Engineering Task Force. It is also called as the IETF, to provide the security for the packet at the network level. And IP security is the capability that can be added to either current version of the Internet protocol by means of additional headers. So basically IP security is the protocols that can be added into our current IP network. So right now we are using the IPv4 and IPv6 technology for the communication in the internet. So in that protocol also we can implement the IPsec, and uh, in the IPsec we will add the additional header to provide the IP security mechanism. So IPsec covers three functional areas. First is authentication, second is confidentiality, and third is key management. So IP security will help us to provide the authentication, confidentiality, and key management. So basically in the symmetric key algorithm, we use the single key to provide the encryption and decryption, and the major concern in the symmetric key algorithm is the key distribution. So for to securely communicate the key, we can use the IPsec for the symmetric algorithms. So the IP security architecture provides cryptographic protection for IP datagram in IPv4 and IPv6 network packets. So basically what the IP security will do is it will encrypt the IP packet that is coming from the machine. So there are seven layers. As we know, there are seven layers in the network communication. So whenever the transport layer sends some data to the network layer, all the transport layer data will be encrypted before it is encapsulated in the IP packet. So basically The TCP/IP network will use the IP security, and it will provide the additional protocol to provide the secure communication between the machines. So basically, IP network do not do the encryption and decryption by default, but with the help of IPsec protocol, we can provide the encryption and decryption mechanism in the IP protocol itself. So IPsec is performed inside the IP module. So we already have the IP module for the communication between two machines or the various machines, and IPsec will perform the operation inside the IP module only. So IPsec can be applied with or without the knowledge of internet application. So when used properly, IPsec is an effective tool in securing network traffic. So uses of the IPsec, the first is to encrypt the application layer data. So by default, TCP/IP does not provide the encryption and decryption mechanism for the secure communication. But if we use the IP security in the IP network, we can encrypt the application layer data for the better security. It will also provide the security for the router sending routing data across the public network. So basically how the router will work, it will share the routing table to the another router. So it may be possible that some malicious code can be sent by the hackers to the routers. So to provide the router to router communication also we can use the IPsec. And it will also provide the authentication without the encryption, like to authenticate that the data originated from the known sender. It will also protect the network data by setting up circuits using IPsec tunneling, in which all the data is being sent between the two endpoints is encrypted and with the virtual private network connection. So we have discussed the virtual private network in the previous lecture. It will help us to establish the secure network through the internet, and the IPsec is the major part in to develop the virtual private network. Then components of IP security. So basically there are three components of IP security. First is the encapsulation security payload. So it will provide the data integrity, encryption, it is also called as a confidentiality, and authentication and anti-replay. So encapsulating security payload component of the IPsec will provide the integrity, confidentiality, and authentication, and it will also provide the anti-replay method. So replay attack cannot be performed if we use the IPsec ESP component. It also provides the authentication for payloads. Second component is authentication header. So if you want to provide the confidentiality, you will use the ESP, and if you only want to provide the authentication with the confidentiality, then you can use the authentication header. So it also provides the data integrity, authentication, and anti-replay, and it does not provide encryption. So the anti-replay protection protect against unauthorized transmission of packet. It does not protect the data's confidentiality. So if you want to provide the authentication, you will use the authentication header, and if you want to provide the encryption, confidentiality, or integrity, we will use the ESP. Next component of the IP security is internet key exchange. So whenever we use the symmetric key algorithm or any algorithm, and if we want to securely send some key to receiver, then we can use the internet key exchange component of IP security. So it is a network security protocol designed to dynamically exchange encryption keys and find a way over security association between two devices. So if you want to share the any key for the encryption and decryption, we can use the internet key exchange component of the IP security. So the security association establishes the shared security attribute between the two network entities to support the secure communication. Now next is the modes of IP security. So there are two modes in which the IPsec algorithm will work. First is the transport mode and second is the tunnel mode. So let's discuss how the transport mode will work. So in the transport mode, IPsec protect what is delivered from the transport layer to a network layer. So it will protect only data that is coming from the transport layer to network layer. So in other words, transport mode protect the network layer payload, and the payload to be encapsulated in the network layer, that we will see in the next slide. Note that transport mode does not protect the IP header. In other words, transport mode does not protect the whole IP packet. It protects only the packet from the transport layer. So if we use the transport mode for the IP security, it will only protect the data that is present in the transport layer. it will not protect the IP information. So here it is written, it will not protect the whole IP packet. It will only provide the security for the data that is present in transport layer. So in this mode, the IPsec header and trailer are added to the information coming from the transport layer. The IP header is added later. So let's suppose this is the transport layer data. So we have 7 layers. So from the transport layer, the data will come to the network layer. So it will come to the network layer. So what the IPsec will do, it will add the IPsec header and it will add the IPsec trailer here, and whole this data will be encrypted, and the encryption mechanism and information will be stored in the IPsec. And here the actual IP header will be added. IP header and IP trailer will be added. So transport layer data will come to the network layer. So before adding to network layer, the IPsec header will be added here, and IPsec trailer will be added here, and whole the transport layer data will be encrypted. And after that, when it come to the network layer, the IP header will be added here, and IP trailer will be added here. So this is how the transport mode will work. Next is tunnel mode. So in the tunnel mode, whole IP packet will be encrypted and a whole IP packet will be secured. So in tunnel mode, IPsec protect the entire IP packet. It takes an IP packet including the header, applies IPsec security method to the entire packet, and then adds the new IP header. The new IP header has different information than the original IP header. Tunnel mode is normally used between two routers, between the host and router, or between a router and a host. In other words, tunnel mode is used when either the sender or the receiver is not a host. So entire original packet is protected from the intrusion between the sender and the receiver, and is as if the whole packet goes through the imaginary tunnel. So let's suppose this is our transport layer data, and this is our IP header and IP trailer. Now we will add the IP security IPsec header here and IPsec trailer here, and whole this data will be encrypted. Now if we encrypt the actual IP header and IP trailer, then router will not be able to identify the destination IP address. So to provide this facility, what we will do is we will add the new IP header here and new IP trailer here. Now this new IP header will have the totally different information than the IP header, and it will have the new source address and new destination address, and router will identify the destination address from this IP header, and it will send the packet accordingly. So this is how the basic diagram, this is how the IP security will work. Let's suppose this is our machines, and here it is machines, and this is our third machine. So whenever a machine will send some data, it will come to the router, and what the router will do, and this is also called as a networking device with IPsec. So router will have the facility of IPsec. So packet will come to the this device, and what this device will do, it will add the IPsec header, and this whole payload will be encrypted, and it will send it to the public network. Now this whole payload is encrypted, so any attacker or any malicious actor will not be able to identify the information that has been stored in this payload. So this is how the IPsec will work. Now next topic is the email security. So we all use the emails for the communication, and by default it provides the good security, but we need to consider some of the point to secure our email. So email security describe the various techniques for keeping sensitive information in email communication and accounts secure against the unauthorized access, loss, or compromise. So email is a popular medium for the spread of malware, spam, and phishing attacks using the deceptive messages. So you may have received several mails regarding the phishing attacks. So it is the popular method for the attacker to spread any virus, spam, or phishing attacks. So email is also a common entry vector for the attackers looking to gain a foothold in an enterprise network. So in the big enterprise or big corporate, there will be a separate email server, and they will use the separate uh, email methods, and that emails can have various confidential information. So most of the attacker will find to access the emails, unauthorized access to the emails, to identify the various information regarding the company. So email security describe various technique for keeping sensitive this is the uh, for keeping sensitive information in email communication and account secure against the unauthorized access, loss, or compromise. So email is a popular medium for the spread of malware, and email security is necessary for, you can see here, email security is necessary for both individual and business email accounts, and there are multiple measures organizations should take to enhance the email security. Now we will discuss the enterprise email security best practices. So if any enterprise provide the separate email addresses for their employee, then their employee must take some certain best practices to secure the email communications. So first is engage the employees in ongoing security education. So all the employee must have the security education related to emails, and we need to teach them how to avoid the falling victim to phishing attacks. So require employees to use the strong password and mandate password changes periodically, and utilize the email encryption to protect the both email content and attachment. Then implement security based practices for BYOD, that is bring your own device, if your company allows employee to access corporate emails. Then ensure that webmail applications are able to secure login and use encryption. And implement the scanners and other tools to scan messages and block emails containing malwares. So this is the best practices that can be used by the enterprise emails. And next is email user email security based practices. That means if you have a personal email account, then these practices you need to follow to secure your email. First is never open attachment or click on link in email messages from unknown sender. Then change password often and use best practices for the creating strong passwords. Then never share password with anyone including co-workers. Then try to send as little sensitive information as possible via email, and send sensitive information only to recipients who require it. Use spam filter and antivirus softwares. Then when working remotely or on a personal device, use VPN software to access the corporate emails, and avoid accessing company email from the public Wi-Fi connection. So this is the best practices that can be followed to secure our email communications. So this was all about the IPsec and email security. I hope you did understand all the topic that has been discussed in this video lecture. Thank you so much.